But it's all right. It really is. Not for nothing. Like, and I'm not here to shit on women. I'm really not. Like,
No.
and I'm the type of guy that, with my history and my experiences, between my mother and the person I chose to procreate with,
Mm.
I could fucking hate women. You know, like I could be real jaded. And sometimes I am. Like, I'll be honest. Like, sometimes I am. But that's when you know you're in a bad space. You're um, unconscious, if you would. Like, you're just going off of emotion. You know,
Yeah.
basically acting like a woman. No, I'm just kidding. But not for nothing. A lot of my problems were that I was emotionally reactive. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that the word I'm looking for? Like, like I put too much into my feelings, whereas a father would teach you, fuck that, mow the
Right.
lawn, dickhead. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
Straight up, mow the lawn, dickhead.
I
You
think
know,
it's
like
one of the
that's what I missed in my
problems.
life.
Like we grew up kind of with this, like, oh, you know, men need to feel more. Men need to like they just need to, like, they're not in touch enough with their feelings. And if you're looking at that from a woman's perspective, where it's that their emotions and their feelings are such a big part of like who they are, and like and they're so good, like women are, I've watched this with my two daughters. Women are naturally good at identifying their feelings and like and expressing them and
Right.
telling you exactly how they feel and why they feel the way that they feel. The boys are like not. They
Right.
don't. And there's
No,
and
they're angry because they're really sad or fucking
right.
whatever the
And so,
fuck.
but the solution isn't, like, I think the solution society came up with was, let's make them more like women, right? Like,
Right.
let's make them like, okay, women are, and then when they're not as good at it, they're like, why can't you do this? Why can't you get this right? Look, she can do it at fucking 3 years old,
Right.
right? So like,
Cool, do a pull up.
so but the thing is, it's because it's very different. Like, as an adult who has like gained some knowledge, men don't need to express their feelings. They need to work on something.
Right.
If you're feeling a certain way, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling depressed, and this isn't across the board, like there are always exceptions to these things, but I think in general, you're, as a man, you're not doing something that you feel that your biology feels that you should be doing moving forward. Like, and that could just be like, if you're sitting at a desk every day,
Yes.
and like
Yes.
like your biology wants to be out throwing spears and hunting, because that's what we did for 100,000 years, right?
I don't think
As
we did that,
evolved.
but yeah.
Probably
Not
not.
my
No.
people. My people. Oh, I'm Brazilian.
I personally, like, I sit in front of a computer. My little brother could never work on a computer. I love it. I hated doing masonry and construction and all that
Yeah,
shit.
right.
And like, I was just like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
you
this
have
is
no
fucking
idea why
miserable.
you're fucking wired the way you are. It's
Right.
so odd. But there's
But I
someone in
have-
your family tree that was like that.
Yeah,
You know?
but I have a drive to like to be accomplishing something, to be
Me
building
too.
something, even if it's a website
Me
or an
too.
application or something like that. And when I'm not doing it, I'm not able to do it for whatever reason, either like drinking too much or
Right.
whatever the reason is. Like, I feel off because my body feels like I need to be moving forward.
And
like
when
my
you're not
biology
doing
does.
that, you're anxious, you're irritable.
Yeah.
I remember years and years I struggled. You know me well. Like, years and years I struggled while being clean in a program working on myself. And I couldn't understand why. I really didn't. And nobody else really could neither.
Yeah.
Like, it was a disease.
It's like you're talking
Right.
about your feelings, right?
Right, and that was the fucking problem. Is that, and like, I would look at I'd go deeper on fucking why I'm irritable and discontent on a fucking Tuesday, when in reality I need to drink more water. Something as simple as that, dude.
Right.
Something as simple as not identifying the real problem. Like, why would I people please and lie about things and lean into fucking self pity and all that stuff? Well, because I didn't address my neglect as a fucking child. That's
Right.
why.
Yeah.
And I put a band-aid over that. So like, ignorance has a place in that too. I'll talk to guys, because I mean, I have friends that we can have extremely deep conversations that I had met in recovery. But like, if I talk to somebody who's never done any work on themselves, and we try to have that same conversation, it's like talking to a fucking wall. They just don't get it, man. They've never really looked at themselves. They're still caught up in, whatever issue they have, they think it's something else, when in reality, it's just really a learned behavior.
Yeah.
All of my issues were learned behaviors. And so, challenging those behaviors and making the necessary changes over time, getting momentum, actually changing. Like, you've known me since what, 2014 probably? So 10 years. And
yeah.
5 of those
Easily.
years, I wanted to do everything I'm doing now. Then I hit a huge fucking rock bottom, and then I changed. And now I'm doing all the things. Like, I'm getting into commercial construction and real estate development, dude. I should be, I have a GED and a fucking record. I should be dead,
Yeah.
Right. And I wanted to be at times in my life.
I never thought I would live to be over 30.
Right.
Never. Like, the idea of, like, even hitting 30, it was like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen for me.
I knew I'd live, because I always, the way I looked at myself, don't even laugh. It is kind of funny, but like, the good die young, and I am ineligible. Like, that's how I looked at it. I remember I heard that in like a 50 Cent song or something. He said that, and I was like, that wasn't just a good line, that resonated. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to live forever like the cockroach I am. And like, when you have that type of self-belief, you're obviously going to fucking self-sabotage everything you do.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're scared, and you'll lean into that fear. But like this last rock bottom around, and having my son, that I need to be there for, like, not trusting that anybody else in this world's going to give a shit about him enough to be there for him when he needs someone.
Yeah.
Like, having that, like, I was able to just be like, you know what, no more bullshit. Like, however you live, however and I had done enough work to know that I needed to change everything, including some of those things that helped me learn that work. Like, I knew I had to fucking make those changes, like I had to do that. So I had to look at everything I didn't like about myself that brought me to making decisions that destroyed my fucking life. And I had to change those things. And there was a pendulum swing. Like, I was a people pleaser. I turned into the biggest fucking asshole. The biggest asshole, Mike. You wouldn't even begin to imagine how I treated some of the people in my life. I feel bad. Like, really felt bad about it. No, I've obviously changed those behaviors too. This pendulum evened itself out.
Yeah.
Pendulum, not pendulum. But it's possible. It's possible for change, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we've lived it. I know this. Some of the same people. I lived through a lot of those things that you mentioned with you. And,
It's true. Yeah.
And it's,
Not for nothing, that fucking rally, the shitstorm that started online.
Oh, I know.
With,
I know. I remember getting calls from your ex.
Yeah.
She's like, what the fuck you doing, Bobby? It's like,
And,
why are you calling me?
and now the pendulum swung the other way.
Yeah.
And I have a lot more empathy. I really do. Like, don't get me wrong, I want my way and I want to be petty and, they did this and I want to do that. But, like, that doesn't fucking help anyone. And I've built my life on the basis of I want my son to have a better life than me. And I want him to have a better life than her. And she was taught to be toxic. I'll give credit where it's due. I don't fucking know. But she was taught to be fucking toxic.
Yeah.
Her father will admit that because we're friends. Her mother won't admit that because accountability is not
came
there.
from, yeah.
That's not her strong suit. But like, it doesn't fucking matter at this point. No, she kind of admits it. We're on good terms. I'm not gonna shit on her. I'm not gonna shit on fucking anybody, dude. Life is hard for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's a lot harder when you're a miserable, stupid fuck. I'm not saying any of those people involved are, but I'm not saying that they aren't either. Because I'm a miserable, stupid fuck too. Takes one to know it.
Yeah, no, I tried to go through, like, I learned pretty early on, like, it's one of the reasons why I like never shit on recovery is because it was exactly what I needed at exactly the right time. And, like, there are things that I agree with certain programs and things that I disagree with, but it's always like, but it's just personal. Like,
Right.
it's just
It's
for
a personal
me
thing.
personally.
That's the baseline. Because the way our brains work too, and I mean human brains, not any type of specific cult. Like, like the way our brains fucking work is we'll have like I've made a personal decision for myself, but now I need to justify that to you because at some strange fucking level I still need your approval, but I don't need your approval, and I know I'm not going to get your approval with my beliefs if they conflict with your beliefs, but I'm still going to push that, you know.
Well, it's part of in-group, out-group still. Like you want approval from
yeah,
in-group.
exactly. And it's weird because like
nature.
in my life, like that was my first real in-group. I mean, I had my crew growing up, but none of us trusted or liked each other. Dude, we all by 15, we were all robbing each other, dude. It was fucking wild, you know.
Yeah. You don't really know like those people. I mean, I remember like just sitting like having my boys with me, and we'd all always be so high or fucked up. Like it was just never really.
You don't know, no. But we didn't know ourselves neither, and like. We were, you know, you got clean young, like, oh, you changed your life. Oh, shit, cat's out of the bag, talking about recovery and stuff. Yeah. But, like, you got clean pretty young. I got clean pretty young, somewhat, you know. Yeah. We didn't fucking mature, dude. Like, I hung around with literal, like, the traumatized fucking kids, you know. Yeah. I was trying to think of something fun to say. I'll name them later.
We spent a large part of it reliving
that
too, which I don't know. Like I'm still on the fence of whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think it is. But I think when I started going back to recovery meetings a little while ago and just kind of reconnecting with people and not knowing, I felt like there was some closure that needed to be had there, and I found that too. We could talk about that another time, but I found that it really is like. Everybody's only there for themselves. And that makes sense now. For me, it was different before because when I went there, I had a lot of guilt for selling drugs and shit like that for a long time. I felt I faced those consequences, viewers at home. And I changed my life, man. And I helped people. But like, I had a lot of guilt surrounding that. And that is a part of the reason that I was, you know, Mr. Recovery and needed to fucking help everybody and had all that, you know, weird, you know, just passion for it that I had. You meet that with the fact that, like, I never had any love or acceptance from a family member or anything like that growing up. So you get that hard injection of that. Yeah. That was pretty gay. But, like, a hard injection of love. You know, all of a sudden, segue into P. Diddy. You get that, man. Like, that's an addiction in itself, too, you know? You know, dude, I used to love, I fucking raise my hand, I get up at the fucking podium, and I get people laughing, and, like, that shit feeds your ego. You stop believing you're somebody you're not, man. And you know, until a mixtape of every time you said the N-word comes out, you might fucking run with that. No.
Or, like, maybe you are. I don't know. I think you're too hard on yourself. I mean, we all try to find our way to, like, who we are. Like, I don't know that I still don't know who I really am.
That's true. I agree with that too because I'm still tough on myself for things that I know I can change, even though I know how hard it is to change, you know, and how far I've come and all that stuff. You know, I do. Like I'm the fucking self-help king, but like I got a lot out of David Goggins, and a thing that he points out, because everybody points out that he's always talking shit to himself and being accountable, but that's because that's really fucking important. But a big thing that he does that resonated with me was he calls it the cookie jar, and that's counting your fucking victories, man. So that you have that positive mindset that, like, when something comes along, like, you already got that fucking the train of momentum rolling. So any obstacle in your way, like, I handled a huge fucking obstacle today, and it's funny too because I got the guy that I'm working with for the state. He kind of like, he gave me an attaboy. He's like, you know, you handled that problem really well. That was a great job you did there. And I was like, you know, part of me is like, whew, good. You know, that was a problem. It's all set now. Yeah. And another part of me was like, thanks, Dad. You know what I mean? And he's not my dad. But you know, like, it's fucking human nature, and we're all humans.
Yeah.
But what I got most from a recovery program is the ability to be self-aware. The ability to be self-aware and actually understanding principles. Whether you want to call them spiritual principles or fucking whatever you want to call them, it doesn't matter. Yeah, but love is important, man. Empathy is important. having faith, whether or not it's a religious, like having faith that things will work out because I've done the fucking work, you know? And looking for those signs, like instead of looking at all the problems in the world, looking at people who have accomplished things, who, you know, in spite of things, stupid little things. Like one of my favorite fighters is shorter than everybody else, and he was like the king, Alexander Volkanovski. And one thing he used to say that I thought was pretty cool was like he'd be standing in the tunnel ready to come out, and he's talking to himself, and he'd go, "You done the fucking work." I didn't mean to spit on you. "You've done the fucking work. You done the work," and then he'll go out and he'd fucking kick ass till eventually he got knocked out. Shit happens. It happens to the best of them. But like that was fucking huge for me, you know, like because not for nothing, like life will bully you, you know. But if you do the fucking work, if you make the effort, that's been my biggest problem. Was effort my entire life, you know. I'd have effort one day and then I'd sabotage it.
Yeah, sabotage is a big part. I kind of came up through it as well. Like I mean, one thing that I really realized was when I first came into recovery was like what I was missing were just like good people, like just friends. Like
that was
good
a thing.
People, friends, like having people to go out with, hang out with, fucking shoot the shit with, like kick back and forth stupid ideas. You know, like it's really where I learned that like I wasn't. We talk in recovery a lot about going in there and being like, yeah, I'm different, and like realizing, and that was like really true for me, and realizing that like I'm not that different.
No,
you know,
right?
Like I'm not, like a lot of people have the same struggles and issues and think the way that I do. And
unpopular opinion is I have that same feeling now, in like Gen Pop, we'll call it, like real life people. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean by that, like. Maybe, you know, oh shit, maybe I'm not as fucked up as I thought I was, you know, maybe I have more of a choice than I think, you know, maybe I'm fucking wrong, maybe this is the final tapes, who knows, the final tape, oh my god, jeez, that was dark. What do you think?
I think it's good. I mean, you did open the door to Diddy, so we could end on Diddy.
I don't know. I ain't got the energy for that. I think full in
next episode.
Next week,
tune in next week.
We'll watch a couple docs about it. Come up with some good theories. Personally, I think he was just. I don't know how big he got if he ever was involved with like Epstein himself, but that it seems like it's the same playbook. And if he's not a stupid guy. He built a fucking $1 billion business. You see it. And then you work it into your life. Like, how does that work? How can I control the black music industry, right? The black music. Is that racist? How can I control the black music industry, like, and be that guy by doing that? But nothing. The dude had a few hits himself, but he hadn't had a fucking hit in decades. And his biggest hits were fucking Biggie, who's dead. It's like, how do you make all that money off of everybody, you know? Nobody fucking wore Sean John. I'm 40 years old. Nobody wore it.
No.
But fucking J.C. Penney bought it, or whoever, you know? Like, so somebody fucking, he was making money somehow, like he compromised somebody.
Well, he had his record studio.
Right.
So, like, he brought on a lot of big stars.
Oh, yeah, right, too. And
like, that's how he made his money.
Power's a way to control.
Same thing with Dre.
So bad. I have to pee so bad.
Too, actually. All right.
Bring the camera.
Next week.
All right, thanks.
Bring the camera.